Hey guys, welcome back to Ed Gasket. If you're anything like me, then your garage workshop has within it more than one incomplete project. So you understand that the last thing you need is yet another half disassembled paperweight. But we all know that feeling when you're driving down the road and sitting right on the curb is one man's garbage and another man's garbage. It's probably garbage. I don't know, maybe I should go back. It looked kind of clean. She'd kill me if I brought home another project. I don't need it. I don't need it, right? Ah, what the hell? If it's junk, we'll leave it. Oh no, someone's taking it. Oh no, they're not. All right, let's take a look. All right, real quick. She's gonna kill me. So guys, what we found curbside was this 4,000 maximum watt generator put out by Predator of Harbor Freight. This is a pretty bare bones generator with 420 volt outlets, one 240 volt outlet, an on and off switch, a missing pole start, a snapped petcock, and an overall lifetime of abuse that would be hard to recreate if we tried. So I assume that this unit was pulled out of storage recently after we were just hit with Hurricane Isaias. Yeah, so that's not how you pronounce that. Tropical Storm Isaias. It's still not how you pronounce that. Tropical Storm Isoniazid. After we were recently hit with super heavy rains and winds. So I imagine this generator's story goes something like this. So picture a nasty storm and the previous owner's power goes out. That's when he or she retrieves this generator out of the deep woods where they've been storing it for what looks to be 200 to 300 years. Now after the last time they use it, they never drained the fuel out of the fuel tank, meaning all that nasty fuel sat in that carburetor and got gummed up. After 50 or 60 pulls of the pull start, this thing failed to fire and the previous owner snapped the cord on the pull start. In a last-ditch effort to get this thing running, he or she removed the pull starter to try and fix it. At that time, they caught this fuel line snapping off the petcock, draining all the fuel onto the floor and deeming this generator, well, useless. And that's when a few days later it went out to the curb to be found by us and ultimately restored to full and normal function. If we can figure out what's wrong with it. So first things first, let's get this unit degreased and cleaned up so we can literally see what's wrong with it. Guys, rather than diagnose an individual problem with this generator that could take all day long, I'm just going to go ahead and replace, fix, or tune up all the most common faults with these machines. So that'll involve checking and changing our oil, replacing the broken petcock with a new one so we can reinstall our fuel line, exchanging rather than cleaning our carburetor, and last but not least, replacing that spark plug. Guys, as we put the finishing touches on our generator, it's really fun to think about how far this unit's come in just an afternoon in the garage. Remember, this was on the side of the road, destined for the landfill or the scrapyard. And within a few short hours, it's now an ultra useful piece of machinery that any family or homeowner could really benefit from having, especially in a power outage. But the real question is, what are we going to do with it? Well, the first answer is obvious, and that would be to keep the generator. You can never go wrong having one of these around, especially if you've ever been in a situation where your power's out and the food in your refrigerator is on its way to spoiling. The second option? Put it on Facebook Marketplace and within a few hours have a couple $100 in your pocket, which is not bad for an afternoon in the garage. And then of course option 3, which is way cooler than the first two. Let me show you. Hi, did you throw a generator away last week? Was that you guys?
Oh.
Ah, language barrier. Sweet.
I fixed it. I wanted to know if you guys wanted it back.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you needed it because the power went out. I picked it up and over the weekend.
So the first few minutes of our conversation were spent with me trying to convince him that I wasn't asking for his permission to take the generator. I'd already done that. I trash picked it a week ago. And then once we got over that hurdle, I had to convince him that I wasn't trying to sell it back to him fixed. I fixed it myself and I just wanted to give it back out of a friendly neighborhood gesture.
It runs now.
And once we decided to go down to the truck and take a look at the generator, I think he finally figured it out.
This is broken
Yeah, I fixed it.
Oh.
I wanted to give it back. I want to give it back to you.
And that laugh right there is a universal language of appreciation once he realized what I was trying to do.
Give it back. I want to give it back to you.
Yeah, the gesture is cool and everything, but you realize you're filming his nipples, right? Guys, I hope today's video acts as motivation for you next time you're driving down the road and pass a generator or even a lawnmower on the side of the curb that's destined for the landfill. Because ultimately the tips and tricks in today's video could be used to fix any small engine and provide your family or your property a useful piece of equipment. Or you can take your newly repaired piece of equipment and put it on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace and make yourself a buck. Or like we did, you could donate the piece of equipment to somebody in need. Now, if you enjoyed today's video, please subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and leave us some feedback in the comments section below. And as always, if you need us before the next video, we'll be in the garage.